Let's fucking get it. Ha.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, what's up?
Welcome to Live at the Basement
How's it going?
with my man's Gian.
What up, guy?
How you doing, bro?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Coolin', man. Coolin'.
Super lit.
How you been, bro?
No, I've been really good. I mean, like, what time is it right now? It's 8:30. I got out of work like probably 2 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of tired just because it was like a super busy day and shit. But
What is it that you do for work?
I mean, there's this it's this home and garden place in Lake Bluff. I'm a cashier there.
Nice.
And you know, it's cool. It's cool. Like the whole environment's really cool. Everyone's like really friendly. But man, it's just because it's close to Christmas and everyone's doing their last minute Christmas shopping. It was like hectic. It was crazy today. Like it was just nonstop. I didn't have a second to really like
Chill.
yeah, I didn't have any time to chill. But I mean, besides that, it was cool. It was cool. Like no, the job's cool. The people are cool, and it's overall just really cool vibes.
That's good,
Yeah.
man. For people who don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell them a little about yourself. What do you do?
Hello, how's it going? No, okay, so for people who don't know me, my name's Gian Frias, or Gian Joseph Frias. I'm 21. I'm a 21-year-old photographer, originally from Chicago, Illinois, from the Humboldt Park area. What? And then like from probably until I was like 9 or 10 years old onward, I've been in Waukegan. So, I mean, like I spent a good majority of my life here. Is that what no, it was cool. It's cool though. Like yeah. So I mean, yeah, Gian. I'm a photographer from Chi-Town to Walktown. What up? And yeah, I mean.
Where can they follow you?
What? Oh, you can. Oh, and check out my photography Instagram at Frias Photography, Frias Photography, and then my Twitter is at Frias Photo, Frias Photo. So I don't know. It's pretty easy to follow. I don't have anything too complicated in my name. I don't know.
All right, guys, and that's the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Right? So you're a photographer. What got you starting to wanting to be a photographer?
Okay, so with my photography, it started probably it started like about like 3.5, 4 years ago, and I think what kind of started it all, it was through a friend of mine that goes by the name of Juan Garcia. Yeah, like and this was all in high school. So in high school, he was one of the people who had like the really nice like Canon cameras. He was, I think at the time he was rocking a Canon 60D, and I still think he's still rocking the same camera. But no, I would just see all the shots that he'd be taking with them, and just seeing all of that, I was just like, man, I really want to do that.
Right.
So I mean, I remember at the time I was rocking like a point and shoot, but this was before I really like started getting into photography, or even noticing that I was like, hey, this is something I want to do. So I would just get a lot of pointers from him. He would tell me what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and you know, just kind of putting me in the right direction. And you know, oh man, I'm stumbling on my thoughts here. Because there's like so much information to process, because it was like not only him, but it was like multiple people that just like putting me in that direction. But it really started with him, and then it went on to me getting advice from another friend of mine, Jane, and then from there getting more advice from a friend of mine that goes by the name of Alex Perez. Very cool guy. Check him out. But yeah, no, so from all three of them, I just got as much advice as possible, and then I just kind of formulated that into like my own little you dig. And from then on, it's like the rest is kind of history. Like,
was it like right away? Like right away, you knew that you wanted to.
Like I think
as soon as you saw it, or
like it was. I don't think it was necessarily.
Like, did you play sports before that, or?
No, I was not a sports kind of guy. Like, I'm telling you right off the bat, I was fucking terrible. Like, like I was, yeah. I mean, the closest thing that I guess to sports as you could get is that in high school, by the way, this was in high school. Don't judge me for it. Like I was in marching band. I was in marching band in high school, even though there's nothing wrong with marching band. Marching band's cool. I was on the color guard, like fucking flag team, and I was in that from like junior year to senior year, and it was cool because I remember senior year, I had like a photographer from the Chicago Sun-Times, like shot a photo of me, and that landed in the actual like Chicago Sun-Times on the front of like the sports page. And like I'm not gonna lie, I felt kind of cool. I was like, yo, this is kind of lit. And I remember that was up for like a solid week, right? They run for like a week, give or take. And I remember like a couple of my family members, all of my family members, and then like my friends here and there would just be like, oh man, you're famous now, and they would have like the whole like back cover of that like just right up in my face. And my mom, funny enough, she actually took that, and no, not my mom, my grandpa, he took that page and he like framed it, and then he gave it to me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So it was kind of a cool gift. It was because it was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks before my birthday. So at the time, so no, like just it's kind of getting that. It was hilarious. It was a pretty funny gift from them, and you know, I really, it was a cool time. It was a cool time. So I mean, that's kind of some of the other things I did in high school. Like it wasn't necessarily like photography wasn't the thing that I was like running to. It wasn't like, oh shit, I need to totally do this. No, it was just kind of something that just came along with time, just because of the people I kind of surrounded myself with that really involved themselves into that whole thing. Right. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So now, fast forward to now.
Yeah.
What has it been like? How long has it been, and what has it been like?
Man, okay, so getting to the present time, it's probably been maybe 3.5 years, like 3.5 years, maybe 4. From the moment that I got like, how do we even describe it? So like from the time I got because there were 3 different cameras that like serious cameras that I used. One was like this Nikon bridge camera where it's like the mix of a point and shoot, but like in the mix of a DSLR. Right. Like I was rocking with that for a little bit, but then it started getting serious when a family. It's weird, like the way Hispanic families work. It's weird because it's like even if you're a family friend, we still call you like a cousin or an uncle or an aunt or whatever. It's crazy. By the way, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. Nice. So that's why I made that thing about Hispanic families, because I'm Hispanic.
I'm Mexican and I understand.
No, it was cool. Like just kind of getting that support from her. So she gave me this DSLR. It was a Canon Rebel XS. It was one of those like entry line like Canon Rebels, and I remember I was rocking with it for a solid like 1.5 years. Yeah, I was rocking with it for like a solid 1.5 years. No, that's actually a lie. I rocked with, so it was I got it in like August or September of like 2014. So like so 8 months. So I had that camera for like a solid 8 months. And I think from there it was really interesting because during those 8 months I was really trying to get as much practice in as possible, and it was convenient that like so I spent a lot of my time in like the music department, theater department of my high school, and that's where I got a majority of my friends from. And like they would see me with the camera and they'd be like, hey, take a picture of me. I'm like, bet. So I would kind of get my practice in from there, because you know we'd have times during like our band practices or like play musical practices where you know I'd have the camera on me and I'd just see one of my friends and like sitting a certain way or standing a certain way, I'm like, hey, can I take a photo of you? And they would be totally down because they were really supportive of that. I think that was also another thing that kind of pushed me to this point. Just kind of having that supportive group behind me and like everything that I did when it be it like the acting or the photography at the time.
Right.
But yeah, so that's where I got my practice from, and I like. So at the time, my Instagram, it wasn't at Frias Photography. It was some weird name. It was like, I think it was something like the Modern Racketeer or some shit like that. And I had no idea where that name came from or why I named myself that. But I mean, that's what it was on Instagram. So it was cool. It was a pretty cool name. I felt like really hipster for it though.
Nice.
But yeah, at the time when I had that username, I was just like consistently posting like photo after
Pictures
photo
on that account.
yeah, and like trying to get a whole thing started, but a lot of those photos you probably won't, they aren't even on Instagram anymore, because I remember I deleted like a lot of those old photos because I was just like, I'm not gonna have people seeing these. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Right. So I was rocking with those photos for a while. I remember shooting. I don't even know why my aunt had this much faith in me. I was just like, I mean, I guess it's because you love me and shit. But I mean, like, you're trusting a dude that's only had a couple of months experience, like really trying to get down with a camera like that. But she was like, hey, Gian, do you want to get we'll do this. Do you want to shoot a Sweet 16? Jalen, Sweet 16. Jalen is my cousin. And I was like, okay. I mean, sure. We'll see how that goes.
Right.
So it came out really well though for first time shooting an event ever. I mean, I guess there wasn't a lot of pressure because it was it was a family thing. If the photos came out good, they came out good. If they didn't, oh well.
Right.
Like, no hard feelings. But yeah, no, it was a really cool time. That's where I got a lot of my practice in as well. Once I got those photos shot, I don't even remember where I put those photos. No, I think those are part of the deleted ones because I mean, like, my aunt and her family already have all those shots, so it's like whatever. I don't really need to have those. But I'm kind of getting off topic and kind of digressing a little bit. But after that, there was a couple more months of just shooting like random things, shooting friends because hey, they were like at the time, the high school was going through a strike, so for a whole month I didn't have anything.
With the teachers. Right?
Yeah, man, that teacher strike, that was crazy. Really? It was cool.
They wanted to get paid more, right? That was
and they ended up reaching some agreement like that, but I mean, we're not gonna talk politics here. So during that whole time, I had a month to kill. I didn't want a month to kill because I like it. I guess I'm digressing a little bit, but like that was my senior year. So I like that whole time I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. It's gonna be a good year. Then comes October and like. We go through the strike and it's like, well, there goes all the motivation I had for this year out the window, because when I came back, man, it absolutely fucked me up. But yeah, so I had a month to kill, and I was just asking all of my friends like, hey, can I take photos of you? Can I take photos of you? Can I take photos of you? Just to get as much experience in as possible, and they were totally down for that. So during that whole month, I was shooting them, and then
do you still do that now? Like, do
I still like hit up friends? It's okay. So that's the funny thing, because
not necessarily friends, but like just random people. Or,
oh yeah, like do I hit up like random people to shoot, or like how do
like to shoot, like for example, like you see like certain model, I don't know, somebody.
Oh, if I see like in terms of like real life or like social media,
like social media or whatever.
Like on social media, yeah, I reach out to people like a lot now. I'm just like, yo, I'm sorry, I gotta point out your light is dope as hell. You guys can't see this, but it's dope because it's like there's 4 different wavelengths just being shown off the light. It's really cool. Anyways,
Thanks,
no, it's really cool. Fuck, what was I talking about? It was Yeah. With the people that I'd hit
Oh
up,
yeah, that you hit up. Yeah,
so a lot of the people that I shot on that you see, for any of you that are watching and also following me on Instagram, a lot of those people that I shot with, um, were actually just like friends of mine. They've had like little to no modeling experience, and it's been this thing where, and this is why I kind of find it easier to work, because there have been a couple instances where I've worked with like models, and I feel like it's helped me work with them even easier, because I found that, like, so obviously it's be a photographer, it's a collaborative thing, it's a two-part effort, unless you're like, unless you're shooting like landscape photography or cityscape photography or whatever. If you're working with a model, it's a collaborative effort, and it has to be this thing of where like you guys have to like vibe with each other like really well. Like there has to be consistent communication. There has to be like 100% security in saying that, like, hey, like I be it the model or the photographer, you should be able to have that instinct that, like, hey, you're not a creep,
Right.
and I know this is gonna go smoothly, and I'm not gonna have to get into a fight with you.
Right.
Right. Not physical, because we don't do that here.
Right.
But verbal. I will not be afraid to get into verbal conflict if the situation calls so. But I'm cool. I'm totally cool. No, where it's because, okay, so obviously you're in a time now where it's like people are really being called out on their bullshit for just being on that real creep shit. Like there's this photographer, this like really well known like photographer. His name is I think it's Tyler Richardson. Yeah, Tyler Richardson, and dude's shot for like any celebrity you could think of, any musician you can think of, and I mean, just now he's just getting backlash for all of for everything that he's done, because he's essentially just like a pervert who's taking advantage of his position and power to to like display that kind of dominance over those models for whatever reason. Well, there's no other reason besides, dude's a creep. That's just how it is. He's a creep. So I think it's like taking situations from like people who are that well known, or even like little things I see here and there on Instagram about like a photographer abusing a model, or like a model being abusive to the photographer. I feel like there has to be that like instinct or thought in the back of your mind, thinking that like, hey, if I'm going to be working with this person, I really have to make sure, that he's not going to be on anything that is not genuine in like his intentions, his or her intentions, because really it can go both ways. It can go both ways.
Can, yeah.
But yeah, so just kind of backtracking a little bit from the people so a lot of the people that are on my feed are just friends of mine who have had little to no modeling experience, and I think like it's a lot of people that have seen my photos have said like, oh, I'm really overcritical, so I never tend to agree with them, but they're like, oh, you do like are these models like professional, or do they like they do a really good job with their posing and everything, just looking as natural in front of the camera as possible. And I would just tell people that like they've had like little to no modeling experience. It's just been a thing of them getting in front of the camera, and then just me just trying to direct them, or like not even so whenever I direct people, be it having like little to no modeling experience, or having very professional experience, like I've always had this mindset that it's like I should be able to just give you like one direction, and anything that you can think of that you think would look good in front of the camera, just do it, and then I'll make the most of it. And that always happens. That always happens. There like people, that's always happened with the shoots I've done. Oh god, I lost my thought again.
My bad. I'm just going live on Instagram really quick.
Oh, okay.
So just.
What up? Oh.
Not yet.
Now we're live?
Yo,
Oh,
yeah,
it's super
now we're
super
live.
late. What up?
Yeah,
We're live on both here and there. It's
yes.
super late. It's super ill.
It is. It's super lit.
But yeah, God, was I gonna say? Yeah, so I really tried to establish that like experience where it's both professional, but it's also, you know, like I like, even if it's somebody that I haven't met before and I'm just now meeting them to shoot with them and everything, you know, I really want to act like I really want to act like I'm friends with them. I really want them to know that it's like, hey, this isn't just a strictly professional experience. It could just be, you know, a totally
Right.
collaborative, really like laid back, just
Let's get the work
a
done.
good time. Just as
Right.
long as, you know, I'm doing my part, you're doing your part. That's how we roll, and that's how I've ever been since I've, you know, shot my friends like here and there and just gained that experience through that. And, you know, I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for all those people that have supported me. Just, you know, it's seriously
really
a
been
blessing.
some amazing work though. Like it really, I mean, honestly, it's some real cool pictures.
No, thank you,
that
thank
you
you. It's funny because I don't even think with the style that I shoot now, I don't even think I really started shooting in that particular style until probably like, a year ago. Probably until like a year ago is when, no, the beginning of this year, hands down. It was probably like in January or February where I started shooting that style, because I was trying to figure out, oh, where am I, like, where's my style gonna be? Am I doing more portrait style? Am I doing like, I wanted to do something with people, but I didn't really know exactly
What it was gonna be.
Yeah, what it was gonna be at all. So, you know, like from the February onwards, I was just really experimenting, just really trying to see what would look best on camera and what's the best way it could turn out, because like a lot of the new stuff I do when it comes to that kind of like fashion editorial style, like I've recently been doing a lot more, like, you know, nude shoots and all that. And you know, I think it's the funniest thing about nude shoots, because I remember when I first started shooting them, I would have like people ask me like, you know, like, more or less, did you guys get it on, or, you know, was there some shit that happened? And it's like, no, it's all strictly professional. Like ever since I started doing photography, I just look at, like, honestly, the human body as just this thing that's like, it's just there. Not saying
Right.
that like the person is either like attractive or unattractive, but, you know, it's really just like a piece of art. Like,
Right.
I don't really you know, look at it as like a sexual, like, kind of object. So
When you shoot, do you set like the outfits, or do you set the scenery? Do they
so
like
the scenery and outfits are, again, go back to that collaborative effort and like collaborative mindset, where I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not gonna put you in clothes that I know you aren't, that wouldn't fit you.
Right.
But I do want to do want to compromise and just kind of figure out, like, hey, is this something that you want to do, or is this something you want to do? You know, kind of have like a whole vibe going. And what's it? Yeah, so a lot of the whole process that goes into that, it's I'll have people like, I'll say, okay, I want to go for this specific style. If you can do this for me, that'd be great. So what would essentially happen is that like, I remember there was this one shoot that I did in Chinatown, and it was with a friend of mine named Himana. She's really cool. Like, I was like, I'm really trying, because, you know, Chinatown has that, I don't know, has a certain like aesthetic about it.
Right.
I'm just like,
Right.
yo, it's really, really sick. And I remember that I was like, okay, so I'm looking for a specific outfit, and it kind of has this vibe, and the vibe that I wanted was kind of like, not so, like, kind of like a retro modern kind of look. And I'll actually like show you this.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now. Ooh, hold up. Oh God, if my phone doesn't die. Ah! We'll see what happens.
It's like on a minute countdown.
Wait, hang on. I gotta respond to this message. I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's all good. Dude, I realized that I went on live and I'm like on 3%, and I'm just like,
oh Jesus Christ.
Wow. Super lame.
I'll be free next Friday. Link? Question mark? Okay, super cool. I gotta go to these photos really quick before it just dies. Let's see what happens. Oh wait, okay, I gotta go back up because I passed it. There we go. So it's like these photos. So it kind of have that like retro modern kind of look to it. It was really really
yeah, those are dope.
cool. I don't know if
yeah, they'll be able to. They might be able to.
I don't know if you. There we go. Super cool. Right there. Yo, that's actually really good quality.
Thanks,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's that camera.
That's so nuts. Hang on. What else do I got? What was no? This was like the most liked one though. Ooh, if I can just.
Dude, show them the one with the dude that's floating. That's just super tight.
Oh, the one. Yeah. So that one's dude. Crazy.
That one's super ill.
Oh god, oh god, please don't die on me. There we go. Let's get it. Super cool. Oh god, I don't know if anyone can see it.
Oh, you can see that. Oh, that's so ill, dude.
Yeah, no, that's super crazy.
Super cool, man.
That's super nuts. Yeah, no, it was okay. So that one was really, really cool because again, that one was one of those collaborative efforts. That was between me and a fucking friend of the friend I told you about, Alex. He had this idea. He was like, "Yo, so I want to do some like really, really crazy what's it? I forgot how he said it word for word, but he just wanted to do something with that rope that he had, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll follow you. We'll see what happens. So what basically happened is we walked a little bit from his house to this one alleyway, and he was like, he had a footstool with him, so he put that down, and then he stood on top of it, and then what happened from there? He stood on his
tippy toes?
Yeah, tippy toes with the rope wrapped around his head. And what I did, like the camera was mounted on a tripod, so what I would do for every shot, I would have like the rope in one angle, take the shot, one angle, take the shot, one angle, take the shot, just keep getting it like just from those different spots. And I thought it came out really, really cool because I honestly didn't know what his intentions were with those shots. But
I thought that you might have had him like laying down. That would do it, like, you know what I'm saying, take the picture and then like cropped it out.
Oh, that no, that was all. So he took multiple shots where the shot was first aimed at just the door with nothing. He wasn't in front of it. Nothing was in front of him, and then he got on that footstool, like stood on it, aimed at the. Okay. From there, yeah. So okay, so from I'm sorry, I'm like spacing out because again, so much information is just being processed, and it's like So from there, he stood on the footstool. He had the rope wrapped around his head, and again, just how the shots came out. I would have it aimed at. The rope in one side of the lens to the other side, and then just continuously take different shots. And from those, I think he ended up going into Photoshop and like erasing the lines that would go over his face to make it just seem like the ropes would come from all those directions. And he did a kick-ass job.
Yeah,
I was just blown away. I mean, dude's dope as hell. Like he's awesome. But like I didn't think like it would come out because I'm not really one to mess with Photoshop, so I never know. I know, like, even though I see it, I never really know, like, the full potential Photoshop has and, like, all that you can do with it. So, just kind of seeing that, like, that finished product was crazy. Like, it just blew my mind.
That's
I don't know, it was a really, really dope experience.
Yeah, that picture came out super cold. And I was like, damn. Right away, I started thinking, like, man, how do they pull this off? And I just started to wonder.
Yeah, man, it was wild. And like another thing I'm really blessed about is just kind of the overall opportunities that again that I've been like blessed with this year, like I think one of the highlights was shooting for this fashion designer. Her name is Sheila Rashid, and no, she's really dope because the overalls that like Chance the Rapper wears, like is like she's made those. She's made those, and like he's worn them. One of the times he specifically wore them was for the Saturday Night Live Christmas special, like I think a year ago. Yeah.
Oh, and she made his overalls.
Yeah, she made the red overalls that he was wearing that night. Yeah, he made those, and like she's also like it was. I'll tell you how we kind of got together, which is also crazy. Like it's kind of surreal, but yeah, she's also made overalls for Zendaya, Mick Jenkins. God, who else? Yeah, Zendaya, Mick Jenkins.
Mick Jenkins so sick.
Lena. God, I forget how to say her last name. I don't even want to butcher her last name. I think it's like Lena Wythe. Lena Wythe. I think. But she was. Do you watch? She's on the Netflix series Master of None. I don't know if man, dude, you need to check that show out. That's
I'll watch
crazy.
What is it, Master of None?
Yeah, Master of None. No, it's like a crazy. It's a really really good show. It has Aziz Ansari in it.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's really good. Check it out. But yeah, no. So she has like worked with like a lot of reputable people. She's made products for a lot of reputable people, and I shot one-on-one with her, and then I had another like blessing from her, which was shooting her fashion show, which was in September, I think. Yeah, September. Oh God, jeez. Yeah, so it was in September, and that was honestly also a blessing. It was crazy shooting a fashion show for the first time because I didn't know, like, I didn't know how fast a fashion show goes. Like it's just like, you know, there's all this setup, but then it's like ends like that. But it was crazy because I didn't know. I'm just getting so many notifications right now. Jesus Christ. That I didn't know how quickly it goes by. 2, I didn't know how much setup there actually is in a fashion show. And 3, I didn't really know how many like reputable people like or like actually show up to fashion shows. Not specifically hers, even though like hers was fantastic. But like just like how many people are really into fashion shows, because like before the whole runway show, I really wanted to get an idea of how to shoot those. And also, that's also another thing that was a crazy challenge. I didn't realize how quickly you need to take the photos, because they're just continuously like walking up to you like at this really fast pace. So in that time, you got to get as many photos as possible. And I thought that was just like insane. That also blew my mind. But yeah, no, going back to the whole fashion show thing, it's just it was kind of a surreal experience, and like to be blessed with that whole thing, it was great. And on top of that, the product shots that I had shot for her were also up on display. So that was also another. That was a real surreal experience. I was just like, oh man,
like at her store,
like in the whole like runway like show that was happening. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
That's
like these were my shots, and
that's dope.
I don't know, like it was a really
and
really
you shot
cool
a
thing.
video, right? Also, the Drop on Lyrical Lemonade, right?
Oh yeah. So okay, so that's
we
also.
could actually show that right now.
Wait, are we able to play it?
Yeah.
Ooh, we should do that.
Alright, for sure. What is it called? You could talk about it.
So okay, so the video's called Trip by Freako, Freako, and like I don't even know how to describe it, but I think like it was either Lyrical Lemonade or it was These Days News that kind of put it in the best way. That it was right there. And then, if you scroll down,
it's right here, right?
Yeah, and hit that link. And it was like really, it was a serial, like even that was a surreal experience. Like I think the video, to describe it, is kind of like a daydream though, because and they put it like that as well, and it makes sense because the visuals that were kind of thrown into it. I tried, like for a first time run. With that whole thing, I really wanted to make sure that it wasn't over the top, but it still had just enough flair to where, you know, it like people saw it and they were like, oh, shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it got a lot of really positive feedback, which I was like really blessed about.
And they did an amazing write on it. Like,
yeah, no, I was like, honestly, to see it on Lyrical Lemonade, it was honestly a blessing. Like, I absolutely love that shit.
Let's play it.
Let's take a trip. Let's take a trip. Let's take a trip. Let's take a trip. Hey, let's take a trip. Cold and crazy, I'm lazy myself. Yeah, live that life again, you can't simple. Hey, must be how I feel, I can't feel you. Hey, look me in my eyes, ain't no fear too. Yeah, blessing in the skies, I'm so high. Please don't sacrifice my vices, my shit. Hey, lightning, thunder, up exciting. Ooh, high beat, dirty in my sprite, please. Hey, your girlfriend, your moves just to spite me. Wrong move, bitch, my poker face is frightened. Been on kid shit, testing out my present. Hey, you won't waste no time on no peasant. You say you hate me and you need me, I don't get it. Yeah, forgive and don't forget, that's how I get it. Yeah, I brain bass, high tech and pure gas. Hey, tables turn, bridges burn, you earned that. For every fake, it's worth the firm knife for your back. For every fake, it's worth the firm knife for your back. Hey, let's take a trip. Roll the dice, take a flight, take a risk. Take a tea in my cup, not a breast. Magazine for hating niggas with an issue, can't miss you. Like I can't get sentimental. Try on hollis with love, where it gets you. Hey, your life again, you can't swim through. Hey, imagine half the shit I've been through. Hey, ooh, let's take a trip. Hey, let's take a trip. Let's take a trip. Take a trip, take a trip.
Yeah, so this was all shot and edited by me. So
This is
really,
dope, bro.
and the thing, there's still more too. So it gets even better.
Oh, that's super dope.
And the shot too, right?
It's like
People,
an interlude, right?
yeah, people really liked that little transition. Those, and I was like, hey, man, thank you, I appreciate it.
She don't see evil, I tell her I see the sun. Hey, fuck conversations, do not try to pick my brain. Brainstorm, what's the next play? Rain, please do not go away. I feel like I am Mujay, killing shit, I get away. Don't compare guys like the prophet, different. I was on the mission, you dismiss it. Bobby Faye, I'm in the kitchen. Little B chef, water worker. You know that thrill when you catch an eye black it. Keep status, bitch, nigga, it's cracking. Overreacting, sarcastic bastard. She wanna fuck for yellow, but she's asking. See it like that, bitch, a damage. She keep complaining for a fix, leave it shattered. All's where the ends, where the shit happen. I was on my own shit, bull on my below shit. Never switching lanes, bitch, you crash, that's dummy. Think you got the bitch, Triple H, I'm behind, frontin'. Wait up on my shoulder, shit was lying. Hey, wait up on my shoulder, shit was lying. Hey, ooh, I don't see evil, I tell her I see the same. Hey, fuck conversations, do not try to pick my brain. Please do not, please do not, please do not. Hey, I'm trying to, please do not.
No, thank you.
Hey, what's on your brain? Hey, what's on your brain? Hey, what's on your brain? Hey, don't pick my brain. Hey, look as I flex all on you. Hey, 2 to 3 gang on my crew. Please do not, don't pick my brain. Hey, please do not, don't pick my brain. Hey, please do not,
Yeah, dude, that's just super dope.
Thank you.
Super dope.
Thank you, seriously. That seriously means a lot, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, no, first music video, and it was like Like, it was funny because I got a message from. What's up, guys? How's it going? No, it was cool because I got a message from E. Yesterday, saying that like I'm off to a really good start, and I didn't really know what he was talking about, and he was saying, well, I mean, it's like you're already like first video ever, and you're on like Lyrical Lemonade. I'm like, that okay, that's I see what you mean. I see what you mean. So it was kind of a surreal thing.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's like a good video. It's like a really
thank you,
nice
thank
video.
you, seriously, and that's like I
So
seriously
like
all of the fucking support that I was getting from like just everybody from both like Frico, his homies, like my homies, and just everybody that's seen the video. They all talk about how like I shot a really good like video. I'm like it was a blast. It was seriously a great thing to hear from people. So I mean, I honestly can't wait to be doing more of those, and I think it's gonna be like a really cool like future, like honestly, like from that video there's only going up from there.
Exactly.
So I'm like really
especially
happy.
This is your first one.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean people are like, oh man, your video was like dope as hell. Me, I still see the little things here and there that or
Right.
like the things here and there that do need to get improved. So I mean it's all really just a matter of like trying to figure all that fun stuff out. But yeah.
Hell yeah, man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I'm definitely super hyped with how all that turned out. So like honestly, I think that like for the remainder of this year going into next year, it's just going to be a really good year for me. I think that a lot of the there's just gonna be like a lot of opportunities presenting themselves that I just gotta gotta take by the throat and just,
and make them your own.
Hell yeah, dude. And I'm really happy. Like I mean, I'm gonna be hopefully I'm hopefully gonna be pitching a film to a studio in January or February, and then from there I'm also gonna be shooting a short film with a friend like from like January 3rd through the 5th. Through the 5th is ideally when she wants to shoot those. So I'm like, hey, cool, let's get that done out of the way with, and then that's gonna make like like film festival. We're gonna see about having it make rounds in film festival circuits, and just kind of see what all like how it all goes from there. But it's gonna be a really dope opportunity. Honestly,
dope,
just all blessings in the skies. Even this, I seriously appreciate you having me on here.
No problem, man.
It's been super sick. And like no, even I wanna ask you like what other stuff do you have coming out?
Dude, I have a project called Alien coming next, and then after that, it's a project that's gonna be called The Venture, and those two projects are tied together. It's a whole story about basically an alien that comes to the Earth and studies humanity and stuff, and that's the Alien project. And then the Venture project is about basically he has to go back to his planet to like save it, type of shit.
Oh,
with
okay.
everything that he has learned, type of So it's just like a real cool project. I've been working on that one actually for like 2 years, dude. It's been working for a while, but I dropped the Jasmine Flower obviously, but
I really fucked with it, by the way. I
Thanks,
really liked
man.
it. It was very good.
Man.
It was very good.
Yeah. So I did that project first, so it wouldn't get in between the next two projects that are coming out, because I feel like I'm gonna use a lot of the same skits that I used on the first one. Might be on the second one.
Okay.
Even the cover art is all like tied together, like, so it's really cool. I'm really excited about those projects. Especially now that I'm learning more as far as like mixing and mastering, thanks to Frank and everybody that has helped me. So I'm just like, trying to figure out my own sound really, and really express that sound with these projects that I'm about to drop. So I can play you some.
All right, actually, that'd be dope. I'd love to do that. No, seriously, no. But I mean, like, God, I mean, I feel like we kind of like hit all of the main points. I'm just like
man.
trying to think. I mean, has already been it's already been a fucking hour. That's crazy.
Dude.
Yo, that's wild.
It goes quick, man.
That's fucking wild. No, I mean, no, really, I do like again. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming through, man.
Nothing.
I appreciate everybody that comes up in here. It's just like I tell everybody that has came up in here. It's just something that, you know, I feel like artists out here need to be showcased, even more than, you know, what they might already be. It's like I try to bring new artists in here from like singers, rappers, whatever, and just showcase their art, and then that way, it's like a sense of unity between everybody. You know what I'm saying? When they go to the channel and they see all the interviews, it's just like real cool that I have everybody. That's dope.
I know, of course. Yeah. No, I mean, like I've already seen a couple of episodes. I mean, like they're on point, man. Like seriously, you get to the point. Like you get to the question, you get like right to the point. You really get to like what everybody should be hearing, and it's just like really, really dope to hear.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So this is Crisis of Don. This is Gian Frias. You know what I'm saying? Frias Photography on Instagram.
And then Frias Photo on Twitter. So check it out.
Me, Crisis of Don everywhere. At D Basement everywhere. Yeah, every Thursday. No shit.
Hey, super lit. Hey!